standing just outside his own goal line. This is fielded at the 27. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
45's the mic. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Check, check. Check. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check.
To throw is Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. And it's complete. Hooper. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Ryan. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack by the Super Bowl champion and Pro Bowler Jason Pierre-Paul.
Check.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. Over the middle, complete. It's Jones. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 27 yards there, a 1st down. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Gets it off to Freeman. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. So a decent deficit at this stage in the 2nd half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. So it'll be 2nd and goal when we return. We've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 11th touchdown of the year, and the Falcons get a bit closer. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Winston. Open man is Howard, the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Check. Watch the before. Watch the run.
Winston. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary... Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Ndamukong Suh able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here's Ryan. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Shaquille Barrett. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. A very short field to work with now. First and goal after the great punt return. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Now Winston. This will be caught just inside the 10. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone, and now it'll be fourth and goal. Here's Matt Gay now for the Bucs field goal. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Gay's kick is good. And that will swell the lead to 16. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
59, ready. 25.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On 2nd and very short, Ryan. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. 3rd down here.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Now Ryan on 1st down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. So a good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Following the interception, Winston. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
Winston here to throw. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes...
And Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
One last shot for Ryan. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Bucs, the win is a good one for morale, but little else as they move to 3-8. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, their woes continue as the record falls now to 1-10. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.